Santiago and Tate, I told you before I turned the camera on, that win last week is, to me, is as notable as you guys have had the last couple of years for a couple reasons. First of all, it's Abilene High, which is a big physical team, but the offense played well, but also had some issues, but the defense stepped up maybe as much as it has all season. You guys have done that several times, Santiago, but how satisfying is it to play that well defensively on the road against a team you guys know from being in the same district with them?
Yes, sir. We just focus on getting better at like things that we can do individually as a team, and we focus on that, and then we try to back up the offense just so that we can be successful as a team.
You had the 3 turnovers, but you also had the 4th down stop deep in their territory. What's that do for you guys defensively? How much does that fire you up when you that particular play?
I mean, it doesn't. It also fires up for the offense because we get a 4th down stop and we get them the ball, so they could go down and score.
I mentioned that that's the most impressive you guys have been defensively, but the 2 weeks before you kind of got lost because of the fancy bells and whistles of the offense. But you guys had moments against Monterey and Cooper where the defense had big moments too. I mentioned this to you. This is as good as this defense has been. Had my sight for 4 years. I've watched you guys for 4 years. This looks like the best friendship you guys have, that Friendship's had in that time period. Why have you guys gotten better?
I think we've just come together as a team, and we want to get better as a team and not just as individuals.
Tate, not to take anything away from the offense, especially you coming back and being healthy. Let me ask you there, first of all, you're back on the right path? Are you back close to 100%?
I'm pretty close to 100%, if not 100%.
You were probably getting a little antsy over there seeing Leighton and Landon and those guys steal a lot of the thunder. How nice has it been to be back these last 2 weeks, especially last week, and making some plays on offense?
I mean, it's nice to be back, but just letting my teammates, coming into their own, just watching them succeed. Like, I want nothing more from that as a teammate. I just want to watch them succeed, and I want to be there for them, and I want to be there as a, conquer feats that they didn't think they could. And our offensive came a long way. We really developed and meshed and formed this chemistry that where we're just always we're competing, but we want each other to succeed.
You just hit on a word that Coach brought up that we talked a little bit about, that chemistry. And not that there hasn't been chemistry the last couple of years, but it seems like that's a big strength for this team. And you've been on varsity for several years. Is this as strong as the chemistry's been since you've been on the varsity?
I think that it has been oh gosh, good night. I think that this is the strongest it's been, although last year we were pretty close. This year, I've never seen a group more devoted to watching others succeed than our group is.
One thing that strikes me, and Coach and I talked about this too, and this is for both of you guys, you see that chemistry in the offensive and defensive lines because those guys aren't getting a lot of glory. Their names don't get put in stories much. But defensively, it seems like your defensive line has really made an impact, Santiago. How good have those guys been, and how important is that to the defense?
Yes, sir. They are the reasons we get pressure on the QB and force interceptions. They let us safeties get interceptions, and they just keep pressuring the QB to throw those interceptions.
And then up front on offense, led by Isaiah. That's a young group, but they've grown each week. And with a young quarterback, that's important because they've gotten better. It seems like Hudson's week by week gotten better.
Mm-hmm. Hudson's definitely developing, and at this point, I told Landon, his cousin, I said, whenever he figures it out, he's going to be dangerous.
Wow.
And he's looking pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that's not going to be good news for defenses coming up if he's not figured it out and he's that good.
Yeah, and then our line, oh my gosh. We got some dogs on there, huh?
Yes, sir.
We got Kemma leading the charge, and we got Pelser. Ortiz is stepping up, coming into the guard. Ortiz is Josh Ortiz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mentioned Hudson emerging, but and I've kind of mentioned how this defense is as good as it's been. It seems like weapons-wise, you have more offensive weapons than you've had the last few years. You've been around. You guys have had Donovan, you've had Chad, but it seems like Hudson has a big menu of guys to choose from when he is looking to throw the ball. How much, now that you're back healthy, how much does that make that, how much more dangerous is that offense with the guys you have?
Well, it's pretty dangerous. We got Landon, who can do basically anything. Me and Lane can go up and get any ball. And then B-Rob is there to make plays, and his blocking is top tier.
So he's the kind of the dirty work guy of the receivers.
He's the dirty work guy.
Well, you got to have to. Hudson will have to get him the ball to reward him here once in a while. So.
Although Landon's gonna get mad at me for saying that.
Is he?
Yeah.
This team just feels different. Just watching you guys, I've watched your first 3 games. What's the kind of the general feeling of what the ceiling is for this group, or do you even know yet? Because there's some young guys and mixed with older guys. Are you guys kind of anxious to see how good you can be from here?
Is that you or me?
Either one.
Okay, well, I'm anxious because we've seen, like you said, we've seen a lot of guys playing, but there's some guys that we've that have been out. There's some guys that are just coming back, and I'm just excited to see where they can help us at, and if they can help us, and yeah.
And just to go off of that, my junior class, we've been winning since we've been in middle school. I mean, like, it's kind of a thing that we just want to do. It's in our mind, and we just want to win.
That's something that we've talked about in here with me and Coach a couple of times, is the culture has changed, because early on when you guys were just middle school guys is when the varsity went through some growing pains, had some tough seasons, but you guys kind of brought a different edge, a little bit different chip on your shoulder. Is that starting to show, Tate? Is that kind of showing up in the program now?
Yes, sir. We get treated differently than others because we're Frenship. Not a lot of people like us, and that's okay, but we just got that vengeance about us where we want to prove everyone wrong.